You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday. It's the day to restart, refuel, and get going on your goals for this week. So it's going to be a fabulous week. It kind of looks like spring is trying to come out really hard. Of course, we'll wait and see what the weather really brings us. We don't truly ever know. But here we are, February 18th. I'm your host, Margie Taylor, for Conroe Culture News, FM 104.5, 106.1, Lone Star Community Radio. You can listen on Conroe Culture News on Facebook Live, or you can go to irlonestar.com as well. We are located in downtown Conroe every Monday at noon. Guests today are Rita Wiltz, representing Children's Books on Wheels, Paula Odom of Entergy. Then we'll have Kati Speers and Bears, etc. This show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, located at 3033 Highway 105 in Conroe. So a couple of updates. If you didn't know, that the 54th annual Go Texan Parade was in downtown Conroe Saturday at 1 o'clock. And they had a lot of participants, a lot of fun, as always. So if you missed it, well, I'm sorry. You'll just have to go look in the paper because it was in the paper today as well. So they also had Arbor Day before the parade, and that started at 9 till approximately noon, 1 o'clock. And they gave away, my goodness, about 600 trees just down the street from here. So looking ahead, what's going on? This is the last weekend for 42nd Street at the Crichton Theater. So you need to get tickets right away because after Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's gone. So also looking forward, the Players Theater Company is excited to showcase Godspell. And that is a great performance. It's going to come forward on March the 8th through the 24th at the Owen Theater. And if you remember the songs Day by Day, and there's some old favorites, The Ladies in Here Are Smiling, brings back memories. So it's about a small group of people that help Jesus tell the different parables, and they act it out. So that starts March 8th through the 24th at the Owen Theater. And auditions are taking place yesterday and today for the roles of Richie Cunningham, Potsy Weber, Ralph Mal, Fonzie, Arthur Fonzarelli at, guess what? Happy Days. Happy Days. So they're having Happy Days, the musical, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And that will come forward, I believe, after Godspell. So you can go to ontheater.com and find out about all the upcoming shows, or crichtontheater.org to find out about the shows with the Stage Right of Texas performers. Also, the Conroe Art League 12x12 Art Exhibit Gala and Auction will end this Saturday. And they have an online auction that will end this Saturday, 5 to 8, open to the public. And they are auctioning off 12x12 canvases. And all the proceeds will benefit Student Scholarship Program for high school seniors in Montgomery County. And these are local artists. So if you don't know that they rotate their exhibits every month, you should go by and look. They're open Tuesday through Saturdays, 10 to 5, unless they have an event going on Saturday, which is generally 5 to 8. So there's another opportunity. You can go to ConroeArtLeague.com to find out about the silent auction and some of their exhibits. So we are going to roll right into our first guest, and I have Rita Wiltz with Paula Odom because they're doing a project together, right, Rita?
Together.
Right, partnerships. Correct. Partnerships make things happen in the community.
Right.
So tell me about it. What's going on, Rita?
Well, Children's Books on Wheels, again, this year is sponsoring the VITA Solutions for Community, which is free tax services for residents of Montgomery and surrounding counties. And what we do is we provide services for families with an income of $58,000 or less. And we could not do what we do without our partnership with Entergy, because Entergy notifies their customers of the services that we provide. And I'll let Ms. Paula tell you all about that. We have 16 mobile tax sites. We picked up another senior citizen home that they want us to come in to provide services for them. And then we'll also have another couple of churches that want us to come in to provide services.
Wonderful.
Sometimes people want their taxes done at churches.
That's a good thing.
Partnership.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good thing.
I mean, they're there. Might as well, get it all done.
Yeah, pray over us while it's happening.
That's right.
So the services are in 5 languages this year. We're so happy that we provide those services. We had a lot of volunteers that came in from Entergy this year. We are so excited about that because when they came through the training, we asked everybody what languages do they usually speak because we're diverse in our services. So we were able to expand to 2 additional languages because of the volunteers at Entergy. We are all over the county. We're out at SOS, which is out in West County, because we wanted to capture the families out in Pinehurst and Magnolia and the Montgomery area. We're out in East County. We're out at the Mission Northeast, so we can capture Splendoria, Porter, New Caney, and those parts of the area. We're in Central Montgomery County. We're at the library. We're at the Crisis Assistance Center. The Crisis Assistance Center is a really good site because a lot of the people that are homeless, they have an income. So we want to make sure that we provide services to them. So we just love what we do. This is our 9th year. We have an experience of maybe 90 years of tax services. Ms. Deb has been with us over the 9 years, but she retired from Exxon, and that's what she was doing at Exxon. So she brings with her over 40 plus years of experience. She goes in and she is the one that trains the volunteers at Wood Forest, and she trains the volunteers at Entergy. And we just love it. I think collaboration is the best thing about Children Books on Wheels, is to see in Children Books on Wheels where we support families. We go into undisclosed location where women are in hiding. And at the undisclosed location, a lot of those women, they have income coming in. So we provide services for them so that we're not putting them in danger when they need to have their services done. So we're excited. In 2017, we received an award at the Federal Reserve for the Stella Award, and that was for the way that we provide services. So we're happy about customer service and what we do and why we do it, and we thank you, Entergy.
So the really neat thing is that you have all these places, the destinations, the times. They're in 2 places. They're on your Facebook page, and they're also on your website. So people can look it up and find what's convenient for them. And it also tells what they have to bring to prepare for their taxes, correct?
Of course, we want to make
Okay.
sure that they bring all appropriate documents with them. We're also with the IRS website. So the IRS tells people where we are providing services. The unique thing about Children Books on Wheels is we provide services year-round. So in April, when everybody else goes home, we'll still be providing tax services. And then we have the service that Entergy provides as far as the zip codes.
So real quick, before we go back to Paula, what are the 5 languages?
English, Spanish, Vietnamese, Indian, and
Chinese?
yes, no, Vietnamese, Chinese, Spanish.
Just
That's
curious.
good.
I was just curious.
That's-
Not
that's
trying to
a
throw
good
you
one.
On the spot.
That's a good one.
I just was
I
curious.
love it. And coming down
you know.
45 and flying to get here, I love that. Thinking about it. But let me not diverse from that. So it's English, Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Indian, and German, and Russian.
Oh my goodness. That's like 7.
That's 7.
Wow.
But those are the services that we provide. We also provide services inside of Wood Forest banks. There's a Wood Forest bank that's located off of Fraser inside of the Fruitalandia store. And in
Okay.
Fruitalandia, all those taxes are done in Spanish.
Well, awesome. So how long, Paula, has Entergy been partnering with Rita for this service?
Probably the whole 9 years. I mean,
That's
we've
what I'm thinking.
partnered with Rita a long time. We're so happy to partner with her and Children's Books on Wheels because of the diversity she has
Yes.
and the mobile sites. I mean, she is everywhere, which is so fantastic for a company like Entergy to have someone that is everywhere that they need to be, because it's not easy for people to get to just one location. So as she just described, she's out in all around the county.
She goes to them.
She goes to them. She's even in Walker County, like she said, in surrounding counties.
Right.
So she's, and the different languages. It's just amazing. So she's got the experience. She goes where they are, and it's just a real help to us. So we love to partner with
And
Rita.
she's very approachable with people, very informal, but yet professional and talented, and has the experience. And I'm giving you
Thank you.
kudos, Rita, because it's
Thank
true.
you.
And I've known you for a while.
Well,
More than a minute.
and the IRS certifications. I mean, they do the training that is just fabulous. And like she said, we were so happy to get some of our Entergy volunteers this year into the training. So I mean, it just expands every year. She gets
Yeah,
in
so it's
more.
not just say throwing money at a cause.
Oh,
You are
no.
feet on the ground, participating.
Boots on the ground. She is excellent in all locations. So we're very happy to have this partnership with Children's Books on Wheels.
Thank you. Thank you. Could you talk about how you feed people to Children's Books on Wheels, Miss Paula?
How we what?
Feed people to Children's Books on Wheels.
Well, like she talked about the zip codes, we have outbound calls that we are able to pick up just certain zip codes. And with our customers, we have a outbound call service where we can put that in the computer and it is able to pick up certain customers. And so I've heard more and more this year at Rita's kickoff and at other locations that during the tax season that they heard about this tax season through our outbound calls.
That's
and
nice.
so Entergy makes those. I mean, we do other advertising, obviously, with social media and such. But to me, if they're getting a call about it, it has to be a short call to put a lot of information in it. But it tells them that Rita's going to be at certain place, certain time. And then another thing, we do have a website, entergy.com/free tax help. It lists all of Rita's sites when she's going to be there. And so people can go on that and they might see that on their bill or they might see that on when they're on our website. So it's just another way to push people to Children's Books on Wheels sites.
It's a great collaboration.
It's a great one. We had support this year. We're so excited from Congressman Kevin Brady. We're so excited. You want to tell about that one?
Well, he had his, is she the chief of staff,
Uh-huh.
Heather Washburn, at her kickoff site. And so she
Right.
was there with a proclamation. And so we were thrilled to death to be there and have the congressman.
Heather's
present.
awesome.
Yes, she is awesome. And so Rita leaves no stone unturned. She has everybody there. And so we were thrilled to be
Yes.
there with Heather at Rita's kickoff at the Conroe Central
yes.
Library.
You know, and Margie, we're happy. Margie's a part of the Children's Books on Wheels team as far as our PR and media person, and she makes sure that the word is out about us. And we thank you what you do, the way that you support us, and you're telling people, well, this is what they do and this is how they do it, and then they'll go down these different avenues and they'll go, but I thought it was just books, you know, and it's more than just books. But the literacy component of the taxes is the financial education that they receive. How we're at the YMCA's. The YMCA Conroe is mainly a lot of the elderly families that come in. So they're also getting education from Wood Forest about tax fraud. And, you know, there's always a commercial on TV about I got a call and I thought it was my grandson and I gave them all this money. So they do all these alerts with the financial asset building. So we're excited about all that. And we're still helping families from Hurricane Harvey. We're still helping those families that need the assistance. And we can go back 10 years. Last year, we went back 7 years. So that's another service that we provide that's granted to us by the IRS. So
You offer so many services. We can just devote the whole hour to you, Rita. That's why you come on all the time, because you've got things going on all the time. And before we divert to some of those other things, I want to go back to Paula. So anything else about the tax collaboration, Paula?
One thing that she mentioned about the financial education, that is one huge thing that we love at Entergy and what Rita does. When you have a financial partner there, this sometimes is the biggest check that a client is going to get. And so if you have a financial partner there to let them know about savings or maybe open up a savings account that day to teach them that, if you save part of this and let them know that some of them are not banked at all. And so Rita has a financial partner there to teach them about how they can save this biggest check.
Yes, and that is very important.
So it's very important to have that financial education piece there. And that's another reason why we love to partner with people like Rita.
Well, thank you. It's important to know that when you get a refund check, don't go out and buy a flat screen TV. Save some money for a rainy day.
Exactly.
And it is really important. And, the sun is shining today. It might be flooding and raining tomorrow. It's just a lot that can go on. And
Sure.
Montgomery County is so rural. It's just, there's no public transportation. So to provide the services to families that can't get in to us, it makes a really big difference. And the collaboration that we have, it helps us to get out to help the families that really need access to services.
Well, and another thing, Paula, and this kind of goes with what you do is the tax services. People don't realize that Entergy has their hands in a lot of things to help people out. Tell me a little bit about the Power to Care program.
I'd love to. We have 15 agencies in the state of Texas that help senior citizens age 60 and older and disabled customers 55 and older to help them with the Power to Care.
Wow.
The Power to Care started 38 years ago, and it was started by employees, actually.
Mm.
And they saw a need to help senior citizens pay their utility bills. And it's not just electric bills, it's natural gas, propane, and butane. And it can help a customer pay up to $200 twice a year. The local
And that's a
partner-
big deal.
It really is because, customers are always in a crisis, a medical bill or a car trouble or anything. So it can help them pay those bills. And it was Crisis Assistance Center, but they just renamed it's Community
Assistance Center.
Is our local administrator of those funds. And so it's just a good way to help with other agencies that, another collaboration to help in a time of need with the Power to Care.
So what people don't realize is when you add on that extra dollar or more to your Entergy bill,
Mhm.
that is distributed through Community Assistance Center in Montgomery County to
That's
local
correct.
residents. So they
Yes.
head that out.
That's right.
And it just streamlines everything for Entergy to make
Correct.
that happen.
And the company matches dollar for dollar up to $500,000 across our 4 states to help pay those bills. So
That's
it's a
wonderful.
great deal.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to Rita. You also have another event happening today and next week that
Yes, we
offers
do.
training.
So it's the OSHA training. It's called Project Reset. And Project Reset is a part of CDBG Montgomery County. One of the things that we like to do is we like to help families to help themselves. Whereas why we don't outsource the taxes, we provide the taxes in Montgomery County so that the economic value is reached here. Another way to do that is through Project Reset, making sure that men and women have the certification that they need to land a job and get a job with OSHA. We have the certified flagger training. The people that are out on the side of the road with the flag telling you go
I
this
didn't
way,
know
they
that
go.
you had to have a certification for that.
You have to have a
I
certification
didn't
for
know
that.
either.
Yes, you do. And then there's OSHA 30 training hours. It's designed for anyone that's in the construction industry. We also have OSHA 10 training for construction. We have the HAS Power. The HAS Power is designed for workers who are involved in cleanup and operation, emergency response, operations. It requires working consistent with uncontrolled hazardous and waste. So we provide those services also. Project Reset is so long overdue for Montgomery County, and the team that we bring in to help with us, they're the experts at what we do. And the men and women that are getting the service, they can go out and with the training and get a job. It's important that we promote our community within. It's important that we help each other. And it all goes together. The families that need help with the training are the families that need help with the OSHA certification, are the families that need to have their taxes done, are the families that need to have CHIP, Medicaid, and food stamp applications assistance, are the families that need community assistance center, they need SOS. So the collaboration, all the collaborators work together. And I know when working and doing things, a lot of people that don't play together, when they come with Children's Books on Wheels, everybody plays together. My mother used to say, you may not get along when you're out there. But when you're at this house, everybody's going to play together. So at Children Books on Wheels, everybody plays together. Well, I didn't want a table by them. Well, that's where your table is, and we're going to work today together, and we're going to hug and sing Kumbaya, and we're going to service the low-income, limited English-speaking families in Montgomery County. And that's just the way that we do things. We love what we do. Everybody's certified in the fields of what they do so that we know what we're doing. I'm certified myself so that I know what's going on. Now, Miss Deborah will tell you, you don't want Miss Rita doing your taxes, but she can tell you everything about them, because I do go through to do the certification, because you have to understand exactly what a tax client needs. You need to understand what a woman that is at an undisclosed location, what she needs. So we work with the Women's Center to make sure that we're trained. We work with Family Time to make sure that we know what we're doing. We work with Montgomery County Youth Services. You have to have the certification and the training in order to help everybody. We'll just rule, and we know we rule. We know we country. We know it's Texas. So it's best that y'all just work together to do what we need to do.
And you have great parties, too.
Yes,
just
we do.
throwing that out there, too. You have the most fun at your parties than I have ever seen. So it doesn't matter what size the party. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's
and
fun.
The parties are the fundraisers that we need to help to do the extra things that we need to do. We have the parties where we go in and we write grants, but there are other things that we need. We have the after-school program for the kids. That's the YMCA every day at Children Books on Wheels. And those kids need things. Those families need things. And so what we do with our fundraisers, we have the Dress White Party. It's the last Saturday in August. In Houston, they have one in the Heights, but theirs is outside. Miss Rita knows better than to have a party outside in August in Texas.
Right.
So it's inside, and we have a live band. We have our Christmas party, which is Jingle All the Way to Literacy. And we always have live music. We have an alcohol awareness component so that you don't drink too much when you're at Children Books on Wheels. And we have a community garden. We work with Texas AgriLife and Michelle to do that, because the children will tell you that Miss Rita said that potato chips aren't vegetables.
Well, that Rita always has a lot going on. I'm telling you, you could talk the entire time. But we're now going to refer back to Miss Paula over here to tell us something that really exciting happened last week.
Yes, it did.
So what happened?
We had our Montgomery County Power Station groundbreaking last
Woo-hoo!
week. Yes,
That's right.
we're
That's a
so-
big deal. Why
Yes.
is that a big deal?
It is a big deal because, number one, we're building a new power plant, and we haven't done that in 40 years in Texas. So since 1979.
Wow.
And where did you do it?
In Willis, next
There
to the
you go.
current site up at Lewis Creek
Mhm.
in Willis. So we're very excited. It's a 993 megawatt gas cycle plant, combined gas cycle plant. It's going to be right next to the Lewis Creek site. They've already really
Which is what
started-
Entergy owns that, right?
Right.
Okay.
We own Entergy owns that. It's very exciting because Montgomery County is growing so much. I mean,
Yeah,
and we've
we
just
are.
got to keep up with the growth in Montgomery County.
That's right.
It's going to offer some huge economic benefits, going to keep customers, their bills lower because it is going to be helpful. Locally, oh, yes. And we hope to have it through in just 2 years. So
2
it'll
years.
be online
So this has
in
been a
20
long time coming, hasn't it?
Oh, we've been planning for a long time.
I thought
yes.
so.
Yeah, we've been working on it a long time. So it was very exciting. We had Senator Creighton and Representative Metcalf, the county judge, was there. So it was really a nice day. We're very proud.
Did you put on a hard hat too?
No, I didn't have to put on a hard hat. Only
Why
Sally.
didn't
But you look so cute in a hard hat.
Sally was the only woman with all the guys out
Yep.
there
Well,
turning the
you know,
dirt.
She's
But-
the CEO, right?
That's right. But it was very nice, and we're very proud, very pleased.
Oh, it's exciting. You had good coverage on that too.
Well, thank you. Very excited.
So just didn't want to go away without mentioning
I
that.
appreciate
You know,
that
that's just
it is
super big
exciting.
deal.
Yes.
So the other big deal thing, Rita, you just have so many darn things going on. I mean, between
She does.
trainings and helping get people on medical and food stamps and tax preparation, but you also have a very interesting event happening this Sunday that is unique.
It is unique. It's the Celebrate Our History of Tamina and Twins. It's our Black History program. We talk about our past, we talk about our present, we focus on our future. But with the twins program, it's unique because we're looking to have Tamina enter into the Guinness World Book of Records. Tamina has over 15 sets of twins.
Wow.
My mother was a twin. My daughter Stacy just had twins. And it's all based, the only thing that we have in common that we could think of that is generic and also is factual is the fact that Tamina had artesian water. So there was an artesian well, and at the artesian well, everybody had water before the water and sewer. The problem we're going through right now in Tamina, letting everyone know of the services that we need. But everyone actually went out and got water from the artesian well that was owned by the Falveys. My great-grandmother was a midwife for Dr. Falvey. The Falveys have twins. So the Falvey twins are the same age as my mom, and then they have a younger set of twins. So it's actually a fact. If you go through every home in Tamina, there's a set of twins that came out, a nephew, a niece, a grandmother, a grandfather, a cousin. And Marty Korn, the author of The Ground on Which I Stand, we had one of the residents of Montgomery County. His picture is actually in the Smithsonian Institute. And we went to Washington, D.C. a year ago. And Marty's going to come out and document and do the oral history story of the families that are in Tamina. And now we have people that come through and they don't want to drink the water. And I said, well, you know, the water now is
Especially if
okay.
they're a young couple, right?
Yeah, they're a young couple, so they're a little afraid of that. But
Maybe get Dick out there.
come on down. We love to have you on Sunday. We'll have gospel music. We're going to have food. You can't have an event without having food. Not only is it a Southern thing, but it's a thing around our house. And people ask, Miss Rita, are you cooking some of that skillet cabbage? Or are you doing some of those oxtails? Because I love to cook. So we'll be celebrating on Sunday. We'll have food. We'll have fellowship. We're asking families to bring a covered dish. And just to get to know a little bit about Tamina and the history of Tamina, we'll walk you through it again. We'll talk about our ground on which I will stand. We'll talk about, I'll talk about a lot of my family's history. My Uncle John Elmo was the first Negro mail carrier in Montgomery County. Dad worked for the Grogans, and Dad passed away a couple of years ago. He was 98, and he was able to educate the Cochran family on a lot of the history. The history is that the Cochran women were wealthy, and they married the Grogan men. So Dad will tell all these stories. And when I was young, the Grogans came to the house, Mr. George, Mr. Horace, Mr. JG, Miss Barbara, and we were all together, you know. And when I was growing up, I didn't really understand what it meant when someone said, your house is like the UN. And I said, what does that mean? And then once I graduated, then I realized, oh, that meant that every nationality was there.
And that's why you have the 7 languages.
And that's why we have the 7 languages, because it's someone in my household. Yeah, my family is like that. And we talk about the story of me born on Cinco de Mayo, and my name is Rita, and I have a friend. She said, well, why didn't they just name you Margarita? I said, okay, Maria, Maria Banyas George. But, and
we all know Maria.
Yeah, we all know Maria. And Maria will also be there on Sunday to help us celebrate. And we want to contact the Guinness World Book of Records, and we're working on our story and the pictures, and maybe we'll do another book. The book that we did before was printed out of Texas A&M. So hopefully we'll have them, and Rice University helped us with the photo journal that we did before. So that's just what we're doing. And it's Sunday. We're looking forward to our breast cancer awareness that's coming up. We provide the educational service for Susan G. Coleman. If it's rural, they'll call Children's Books on Wheels. Our team has been trained by Susan G. Coleman. I met this morning with one of the partners we had for the HIV/AIDS awareness. Last week was National Condom Week. So
I missed that.
You missed that. So Children's Books on Wheels was able to, to interject with that, the literacy component of that, the testing, the awareness of the disease and what it does, and the new studies that are going on right now. And we work to provide those services. So we're just a little bit busy.
Oh my goodness. Let's
Just a
stop. so again, anybody can go to your Facebook page. You can Google it, or you can go to cbow.childrensbooksonwheels. And of course, your website is childrensbooksonwheels.org, but put it in the Google and it'll pop up and
It'll
all
pop
these
up.
events and different things. And Rita's just everywhere
We're
throughout
busy.
the county.
We're busy.
She's got so many different diverse things going on, and she serves all the populations. Anything else you want to add, Paula?
No.
You've been
Same
having
thing.
fun here?
Yes, it's great.
It's a great way to spend Monday.
It's a great way to spend money. This is how we
Okay.
celebrate
Thank you for
President's
the
Day.
opportunity,
Oh,
Margie.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is President's Day.
Yeah, this is how we celebrate President's Day, by giving back to the community and working together
That's right.
in the community, provide the services that we need in the county. So we love what we do. We love the collaboration with Entergy.
do.
We're not going anywhere. We're never going to let Miss Paula go anywhere. So
Thank you for the opportunity, Margie.
Well,
Okay.
we love you, Margie. We thank you
Yes,
for
we
what
do.
you do. You really do
Well-
a lot in the county. You know everybody. She knows a lot of people.
I know she does.
That's what you do. Right. Okay, thanks, ladies. And we're going to take a quick break and be back to hear about the tigers and bears and puppies. And Katie Speer, she even has a puppy with her. So we'll be right back. I'm Margie Taylor, and this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic.
2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call 855-FLY-A-B-17.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
And we are back. I'm Margie Taylor, Conroe Culture News, Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1, downtown Conroe. On this wonderful Monday where the sun is out. I love it when the sun's out. It just kind of is a game changer. It just doesn't matter. It just makes everything more fun when the sun's out. So I am sitting here with Katie Spears, and she's been on here many, many times. Everybody's been on here many times, but that's
because
what
we
happens.
love you. We have fun when we come on your show.
But Katie has a friend with her.
Yes.
She has a little puppy, and the little puppy's name is Carly.
Yes. And she'll be adoptable through Operation Pets Alive. We actually don't just rescue bears. We work through Operation Pets Alive, and we foster litters of puppies at a time, generally. And so she is one of our newest fosters.
So cute. And how old is she, Carly?
About 10 weeks.
10 weeks.
So she'll be ready to go in a week or two.
So is she going to be a pretty big sized dog?
Probably not. Her feet aren't very big. She's little.
Not like your other
terrier.
dogs that you took care of recently.
No. Oh my gosh. So our last litter of puppies, we know because one of the adopters did a DNA test through Embark. But the bottom 13% had Malamute, Great Pyrenees, and Collie in it. And so at 16 weeks, one of our puppies was 40 pounds, and they all just went on a transport 2 weeks ago. And so we are never without fosters.
So Operation Pets Alive is a great organization. I got my youngest dachshund from them, and I told him what they wanted, and I got it. And he's just like, he's part of the family.
Yeah,
he's a perfect. His personality is hilarious. But you tell me about, you're with Bears, etc. Right. And when you first came on, seems like it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
It was before you even established as being a nonprofit. And now you've not only done that, but you've got an audience.
Yes.
People are listening.
Yes.
And you're part of several different chambers of commerce. How many?
Right.
4?
Three. So we're members of the Montgomery, the Woodlands, and the Conroe, Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. And with 2 of those, so I'm an ambassador for the Montgomery Chamber of Commerce, and I'm a diplomat for the Conroe Chamber of Commerce, which means I represent them out in the community and everything. So I represent a lot, and I love giving back and being able to help in the community.
Well, absolutely.
So my plate is pretty full.
Well, and you're very passionate about the animals, and it's not just the bears, but I want to touch on the bears, but all animals that need assistance. I mean, you got a puppy in your hand.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning to me that there was a tiger in the community?
Yeah. So last week there was a tiger found in an abandoned home in Houston. This tiger was not on our radar. We know of a couple tigers living in Houston. But this one was not on our radar. So just like everybody else, I was very surprised, but not at the same time because of Texas laws, there aren't very strong laws regulating exotic animal ownership. So like here we have to register our dogs, but you don't have to register to have a tiger.
How did they keep a tiger at their place?
It was in a cage, like big enough for it to stand up, turn around, and lay down. And they were obviously feeding it meat. They said that there were packages of meat next to the cage that it was living in. So it looked very healthy. It was a very hefty tiger for its age, but also it was in a small cage. So if that's what it was living in, it wasn't exerting any of the energy. So it's just sitting there getting a little fat.
Not doing any
it
physical.
didn't look in poor condition by any means. Just a little overweight.
So how did you find out about it? How did they communicate with you? And who communicated with you?
A couple weeks ago, I met with Montgomery County animal shelters, animal control officers and directors, and I was talking to them about partnering with them, how we can help when incidents like this occur, because just a couple weeks prior, there was a home in Conroe that had over 100 snakes that had caught on fire. Well, I guess it's been several weeks now. Because it was our Christmas tree. And so how we can help, how can we get them the resources
people.
And to help when something like this happens, because those snakes can't go back into that home. Could we help provide either not permanent placement, but just a place for them to take them for the time being while these people rebuild, or, because animal control isn't set up to take in all of these animals, nor are they set up to take in lions or tigers.
So finding solutions.
Help them and give them the list of the experts in the area. So we're big in the reptile community here, and there's a lot of great reptile keepers in our community as well. So giving them the names and numbers, and so they feel more comfortable when things like this happen, that they have those resources available that we can help them
So it's
with.
like they foster the reptiles?
Depending on the circumstances. So this gentleman that actually owns them and keeps them, yeah, we would provide like a foster for them while they rebuild their home until they can get enclosures back up.
Interesting. Yeah, she's getting sleepy.
Yes.
She's like, it's time for my little
it's
nap.
my nap. This adventure and stuff is hard work. So yeah, just trying to be that resource in the community for those people that may not have it at their fingertips just yet. So yeah.
So how's it going with finding the property for a bear sanctuary in Montgomery County? How's that going?
So it's going fairly well. I'm pretty excited because of the work that we've done in the community. We just had our Love for the Bears campaign on Facebook, and we raised $1,200. And so that puts us at over $10,000 in our capital campaign, our Be the One campaign, to make a difference in these animals' lives. And that is being saved to either purchase a property, for a down payment, or if someone donates a property, then we can get the perimeter fences and stuff. That's where that, money will then shift to. But we have had a couple people step up and reach out to us about properties that they would like to either lease us or give to us in some way, shape, or form. We're still evaluating all of those properties. Some of them are kind of far away. Some of them are right here. So it's just a matter of time as we go through and do your pros and cons list and talk to the neighbors because that's important. We want the neighbors to feel like we're building a safe environment, which we are. Some people, when you talk to them about that, they're like, no, I have little grandkids or something like that. And so we want to be respectful of the neighbors that are in those areas where these properties are. And just make sure that everyone's aware before we move in because, our impact is wanting to leave the world better than we found it. And if we are upsetting people in the neighborhood, that's not doing what our mission, is. So we're pretty excited about those to move forward and talk to the neighbors on a couple of those properties.
That's great.
But we're still open to other offers because if these fall through,
So keep them coming.
So yes, please. So we only need 15 to 25 acres to get started. And so we're looking at about 10 years before we move forward with the 200-acre plan. So, yeah. So we're pretty excited.
Well, you've definitely made an impact. I mean, you are jumping out there and all over the area. And I know that between you and your husband, Ambrose, you like to give education to schools, churches, different organizations, maybe scouting, anything.
Yes.
To let people be aware of what to look for, how to help the animals, who to call, all of that, correct?
Yep, exactly. So I do, go out to if you have a Rotary Club or Lions Club or a classroom, I go in and I do talks. I have several different talks. One of them is Leaving the World Better Than You Found It. So it talks about using less plastic, how to recycle, what to recycle, because a lot of people don't realize that everything that's recyclable is not necessarily recyclable in your area.
Correct.
If that makes sense. So, and like bottle tops and things like that. And gardening in your backyard, in small spaces, and composting, and stuff like that. And so we have our bear awareness program, and we have the 8 bear species of the world, and we have a pollinator program. So we have several programs that would fit into your classroom or organization.
Well, you even talk about how to attract the birds naturally without giving them whacked out on sugar, right?
Yes. Yeah. So important to not put red dye in your hummingbird feeders. And if you plant native plants, they'll come. A lot of the housing developments that are going up around here are planting ornamentals, and they don't draw the bugs that the native birds eat. So the native birds are going elsewhere. And so we have a lot less wildlife in our backyards these days because of those ornamental plants. So if you ask your contractors to plant native species, and one of those places that can get those, who is a big supporter of us, is Sergio's Landscaping. And he's a huge native species planting. Like, we've had long talks about it. He's a horticulturist and stuff. So he can get you those plants and everything. And so I'm very excited that he is promoting that as well in his landscaping. So, yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you have a website, bearsetcetera.org, and it's great. You have a lot of good information on there. And, of course, your Facebook page. shares a lot of stories of rescues for different animals and
Yes.
some of the things that you personally have done.
Mhm.
Now, didn't you go on a bear hunt not too long ago? As the nursery rhyme or whatever the kids song goes.
Yes, yes. So last May, we went to Northeast Texas. A gentleman had 5 bears. He was dying of cancer. And so we helped find placement and then move those bears to their new home in Arizona. So that was our first bear transport rescue as bears, etc. It's not our first bear transport or rescue. With my husband and I both equally having about 20 years experience in the industry, whether it be wildlife rehab or anything. And my work with the Black Pine Animal Sanctuary previously, we've moved a lot of bears and wolves and cougars and lions and tigers and monkeys and reptiles and everything. So yeah, it's always a lot of fun to get them to that permanent place and watch them be what they were meant to be. So watching
Freedom.
watching
Freedom.
the bears exhibit behaviors that they never would have been able to before. So it brings tears to your eyes once you see them
And-
figure it out.
You know, what's interesting is your bears, etc. So again, you're much more than that, which
Yes.
is very similar to Rita Wiltz. She's not just books. I
Mm-mm.
mean, a description doesn't really tell the whole
Right.
story of somebody. You
Yeah.
really need to sit down and get to know them, that
Yes.
there's more to the story
Yeah.
than just the title.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that fits for both of you guys. So what a
Right.
great tie-in. I mean, you're both have nonprofit organizations. You're out in the community and making a huge impact on what you do.
Yeah.
You know, hers is working more towards the people end, and yours is the animals, a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
whoever needs help.
Yeah. Well, and our
So-
future goals does include people. Do you
Yes.
know that?
Well, go tell me about that.
So once we have a property, we'll have tiny homes on site for interns and veterans.
I did not know that.
So they say that there's currently 1,000 bears that need placement across the country, living in people's backyards and in roadside attractions. And we learned from Henry's Home, Horse and Human Sanctuary, that there's currently 1,000 homeless veterans in the Woodlands alone. And so we found out that Texas A&M has a big welding bus, and we can house veterans on site for free, teach them how to garden, and A&M will come and train veterans for free to weld. So they can weld our cages, get the experience, and go out and get a job or even start their own welding company because, you know, the United States in general is in short supply of welders across the country. And so we could help get them on their feet, work with Henry's Home, get them.
And hey, you can work with Rita, and she'll
And
give you the extra training you need.
Yes, exactly. That is the plan. You know, there's so many great organizations that we work with nonprofit wise that we're excited to. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Those programs are already here for
Right.
them. We can just supply a space or, for these people to create a home and build their self-esteem and help them build themselves as a person to figure out their next steps and, give them that lift up that everybody deserves.
So much going on.
Yeah.
So little puppy over there that's kind of sleeping. You put the puppy to sleep. When is she adoptable?
About 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah.
So if somebody were interested in adopting her, they would contact Operation Pets Alive, OPA.
Yep. They would contact OPA. You can go on their website, operationpetsalive.org, and you can go to their adoptable pets, and she'll be up there once she's adoptable. But they have it's puppy season, guys. Last year at this time, we had 100 dogs going into the Montgomery County shelter alone. And so it's important that we help the shelter out and get those puppies out of there. So whether you foster, whether you support a foster, whether you support a adoption organization, or whether you adopting, it doesn't change your world, but it changed the world for that one dog, right? So it's just so important right now, and spay and neuter education.
How many dogs do you have at home right now?
We have our 4, and then we have the 4 puppy fosters and an adult foster right now.
So you have like a feeding schedule thing going on.
Oh yes, and
Do you have other
rotating
animals
dogs.
there too?
Well, we have our tortoises.
Okay.
So our large sulcata tortoises in the backyard, and then we have 3 small tortoises and a Mallee or Mastix, and then I have a horse as well.
Okay.
So
Right. So you do have a regular feeding schedule
Yes.
that you have to adhere to,
Yes.
and you both have other things that you do as well out
Right.
in the world
Yep.
to
Yep.
bring in additional income.
Right. Yep. I don't
So-
take a paycheck from Bears Etc. And Bears Etc. doesn't pay for the puppies or anything like that. So I do grooming and pet sitting and some dog training. And then my husband works in AC and heating. So yes, we are a busy couple, and I'm so thankful to do life with someone like him.
Oh yes, he's a great guy. 2 different personalities, but the same passion.
Right, exactly. I actually met him at the sanctuary I used to work at. So he was a volunteer and I was the manager there. So it was great to already know his heart before we started
'Cause
dating.
that's
and
really the
yeah,
thing that keeps you motivated
Yeah,
and going
right,
each day.
exactly.
So what do you have going forward?
Going forward, right now we're working on a T-shirt campaign for Bears Etc. And we have some different places we'll have booths. So this weekend we'll be at the Walker County Fairgrounds with the Walker County Master Gardeners, because I'm a Master Gardener through them.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I live and walk and breathe the life that you see on Facebook, and everything. And so they're having a spring gardening expo, so to speak. And gardening, it's not just fruits and vegetables; it's your flower beds, it's your trees, your fruit trees, and stuff like that. That's at the Walker County Fairgrounds this weekend. Next weekend. The following weekend, we are divide and conquering. Ambrose will be at the Houston Zoo with Texas Black Bear Alliance talking about
Wow.
bear awareness.
That's cool.
And then I'll be with a couple volunteers at the Wildlife Expo at Lone Star College. There's a lot of rescues going to be there, a lot of scout troops and stuff like that, learning about wildlife. And let's see, what else do we have? We have several, we're busy clear through April. And, we are in the Go Texan Parade this weekend. And
Is it fun?
what
Do
else?
you have a good time?
Oh, yes, always. And then we'll be up, I don't know if you remember from Oktoberfest, but the Safe Haven Rescue, they have invited us up for their 20-year anniversary big weekend deal up there in March. So we'll be going up and supporting them. And then, of course, Oktoberfest, the second weekend in October in Montgomery. So it's far away, but it's not too far away when you live
That's
lives
right.
like we do.
When you plan, you got to plan
Yes,
ahead.
so-
And so lots of things, lots of ways to
Yes,
get involved.
yes.
So anybody who has a passion for animals can reach out, see how they can help you, volunteer, donate money. Donate money is always a good thing, right?
Yes.
And go to bearsetc.org
Yes.
and make a donation.
Yep.
Anything like that. So fabulous. Anything else you want to add, Katie?
I don't think so. We just are so appreciative of the support that we've received from these communities here is just amazing. And the people through the chamber and everything that are helping get the word out for us as well. They're like, oh, I talked to this person about you today. She really wants to meet you, or he really, wants to talk to you. So it's just really, really great. The response and the acceptance that we've got. A lot of people, when you say, oh, I want to, put some bears in your community, they're like, what? You're crazy.
Well, your circle
But-
started smaller, and
Yes.
then it's getting larger
Yes.
and larger and larger, and that's the way relationships work.
Right, exactly. And we just appreciate this community for accepting us. So,
Of course. Okay, so that's it for today's show, and this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic. I'm your host, Margie Taylor, and we will talk again next week. If you missed the show, you'll see it again on YouTube, Conroe Culture News, or irlonestar.com.